Good evening and welcome back to the Rory Talks Football channel, your daily Arsenal news, updates, debates and my opinions. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. We are very close to 10,100 subscribers. And if you could like the video, the stream, however you're watching it, I would be very, very grateful. How are we all feeling? Loads of you here. It's a Monday, but you know, it's a very enjoyable Monday when every time you refresh Twitter, there's another Spurs fan crying about yesterday's result. Pekka, good to see you. Jakob, Sportcat, Cedar Tree, Vivi Vlad, Louis, Icarus, Magnus, Leo Nesbitt, Ross Lorman, Emilio Yoyoyoy, Matty D, Churms, Ultra Pro Gamer, Francisco Oliveira, Ethan Udall on his way to Brighton to see the missus. Well, enjoy that. Max, Devin, Say, Sam Shapiro, Hannah, Samuel, Jack Sachs, Peter Baker, Footy Judge Mo, what a legend. Go and subscribe to him if you're not already. Yomi's in here as well. Jake is in here. Just watched you get 2 out of 10, RIP. Back-to-back 2 out of 10s. Back-to-back lemons. I'll tell you what, I'm not getting scurvy anytime soon, that's for sure. That is for sure. But it's it's not enjoyable. It is not enjoyable. Richarlison did more fights than shots yesterday. Mate, do you know what, right? I made a video when he had the whole interview about his mental health problems, right? And I sympathize with that, I do. But my God, he does make it hard to be sympathetic for him. He really does. Gaming, just relax. Relax, my friend. Relax. Hope you get the sweetest lemon possible tomorrow. I think apparently they get more sour as they ripen. So I'm not too sure. Romero was Spurs' best attacker yesterday. He was. Do you know what? Credit to him. I thought Romero had a very good game. Can't wait for you to eat something spicy. Mate, the Carolina Reaper is actually going to finish me off. To be honest, when I put Carolina Reaper down as a forfeit, I don't think I had done my research into how spicy they are. It's going to go badly. It is going to go badly. The extra half better be eaten tomorrow. It will be. It will be. There will come a point where lemon won't bother you anymore if it continues to happen. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, do you think I'll just become like immune to it? Spurs fans crying about the ref. All those calls were correct in my opinion. Yeah, I think. Well, Dermot Gallagher went through them on Sky Sports today. He said the Kulusevski potential penalty before our second goal, it was way too soft. There wasn't enough contact. The corners that we scored from, there was absolutely nothing wrong with them. The only real mistake was Michael Oliver not giving the penalty from Declan Rice in the first place. Like, he shouldn't have needed VAR to know that was a penalty. But having said that, do you not remember the Villa game away at Aston Villa when an almost identical thing happened where Jesus got kicked in the bottom of his calf? The same referee, Jared Gillett, in that game was the VAR that overturned Michael Oliver's decision yesterday to give that penalty. Now, I think it's a penalty, but I think they were both penalties, and obviously only one got given. Jesus was kicked, yeah. Combination of lemon on top of Caroline Spice will rip your tongue in half. Yeah, that would be unfortunate if they happened on the same day. Vic, much appreciated. Thank you very much. Did you see Invert the Wings tantrum? It was hilarious. I did. Invert the Wings meltdown was absolutely sensational. In fact, do you know what? I'm actually gonna. If you don't have the privilege of following, well, not even following, just if you've not seen Invert the Wings meltdown from yesterday, it was spectacular. Let me bring it up. He has been going on and on. Let me bring this up. It was too funny. I had to unblock him. just to marvel in the tantrum that he was having. So where did it start? Oh my God, it just went on forever. This is where it started. You are absolutely corrupt. You are disgusting. Absolutely disgusting, right? This wasn't even for the Kulusevski penalty. This was just for the offside. This was just for Van de Ven's offside, which was legitimately offside. None of the other things had even happened at this point, but he'd already completely lost the plot. He then said, I'm no longer watching this game. I am not watching blatant corruption. Disgrace, absolute disgrace. So at this point, he stops watching. He stops watching at what? 27 minutes into the game. 27 minutes into the game, he stopped watching, supposedly. I will not be watching the rest of the 23-24 Premier League season. The FA is trying to manufacture a title race. Atrocious, absolutely atrocious. I will be watching the Champions League, but the Premier League, forget it. Integrity is destroyed. 28th of April, 2024, the day I fell out of love with football. He's never fallen out of love with football when things have benefited Spurs. You know, when a genuinely atrocious decision was made that benefited Spurs against Liverpool, he didn't care. In fact, a lot of people have replied to this with a screenshot of what he said when when Liverpool got robbed by Tottenham. And his response was, awful decisions happen to everybody. Don't cry about it. But I mean, it went on and on. I'm so proud of the Tottenham today. Well, I don't know what he was proud of because he only watched 27 minutes. I don't know how he's talking about dominating completely because he turned it off. He turned it off after 27 minutes. So I don't know how he knew what happened for the rest of the game. The integrity of the sport is more important than a top four race. Tottenham have to play their reserves against Manchester City. We cannot so the integrity of the sport is more important than a top four race. So let's completely ruin the integrity of the sport by playing our reserves against Man City, even though we need to get into the Champions League. I thought no new thing was bad. This guy is a different league altogether. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But the thing was, I'm not joking. It carried on and on and on. He was asked why he's so angry because he claims not to support Spurs, right? Even though he's got an Ange Postecoglou profile picture and all he talks about is Spurs, claims not to support them. He said he's angry because he supports the integrity of the game. Seeing a robbery of such magnitude happen during a title race is unacceptable. The mad thing is, genuinely, the decisions just weren't even bad yesterday. Like, even if Tottenham had had a genuinely horrific decision go against them, this would still be an unbelievable meltdown. But it's the fact that there wasn't even any real bad decisions. It was unbelievable. And then he said what happened during Liverpool versus Tottenham was not corruption. It was not making the wrong decision. It was a singular mistake and miscommunication. Well, what happened if yesterday was just a miscommunication? And it just went on. It just wasn't offside. Doesn't explain why. Just says it just wasn't offside. And it just went on. All of the things that Tottenham dominated in. 3 points, though. Didn't get those, did they? Arsenal today was if you gave Sean Dyche and Everton an unlimited budget. And then he said, that's enough of my outbursts. I am done. Probably the most corrupt Premier League game I've seen in my lifetime. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But he wasn't done. Even though he said, that's enough of my outbursts, I'm done. He absolutely wasn't because he carried on. He wants Tottenham to write a statement, the same that Nottingham Forest made. And it just goes on and on and on. He's still at it today. It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. He also believed this thing. So some random person on Reddit said that Michael Oliver refused to do an on-field review for the Kulusevski penalty. There's zero evidence that happened absolutely anywhere. But he believed it. He believed it and started running with it. Anyway, enough of him. But honestly, that entire meltdown was one of the most sensational things I have ever witnessed. Who saw that full Lee Gunner celebrating Kai's goal? Yeah, well, he started because bear in mind, right, up until a few weeks ago, he refused to even mention his name. He refused to even mention his name up until a few weeks ago. I remember him calling me every name under the sun for backing Kai Havertz earlier in the season. But everyone comes around eventually, don't they? Everyone comes around eventually. He's interaction farming. He even lied that he has mental health issues or something. Listen, I don't know about that. I blocked him a while ago and then unblocked him just to see that. So Partey was a revelation yesterday. Partey was brilliant yesterday. Zesty mutant. I am a zesty mutant. I am a zesty mutant. Oh, God. I will bring up yesterday's game, though, because I do want to talk about some bits in a little bit more detail. So, look, for me, the game yesterday, right? I actually love this. Oh, wait, it's not up. There you go. I actually love this. I love the fact that we had less possession. You know, when we talked about the preview, and I said I didn't actually want us to go toe-to-toe with Spurs. I wanted us to basically do what Newcastle did. Let them do their thing, and we'll do and we'll capitalize. Hang on, let me just ban that guy. Yeah, let them do their thing. Let them have the ball. Beat them in the transition. And the second goal was the perfect example of that working. Timber back for Bournemouth. Maybe Timber played 70 minutes on Sunday, 70 minutes yesterday for the under-21s. So maybe we were just clinical. We were clinical, yeah. I mean, we bullied them from the corners. Honestly, right? Ben White, it doesn't reflect in his stats. Ben White was like indirectly assisting, and he has done all season. But I made a TikTok about it today that people don't actually realize the skill that goes into Ben White standing on Vicario, because he has to time it absolutely perfectly. So he stands on Vicario, right? And you could see it really well on the third goal, on the Kai Havertz goal. He stands on Vicario. He pins Vicario to his line. Now, first of all, it's shocking defending from Spurs. Not having a Spurs player stand between Ben White and Vicario and just letting Ben White do whatever he wanted was shocking. But Ben White stands on Vicario, pins him to his line, and then you watch it. The ball is coming in, and as the ball is mid-air, it gets to the point where White has pinned Vicario enough that no matter what, Vicario can't come for the ball. Because that ball, Kai Havertz is well inside the 6-yard box. That should be the keeper's ball. He pins him to the line, and then as the ball is in the air, at the right moment, he then dashes out, because obviously, if he's still there when Kai Havertz heads the ball, he's offside. So he has to time it perfectly, where he gets himself onside just as Kai Havertz is about to head it. And it works perfectly, and it's genuinely a skill. It is genuinely a skill. That clip of Havertz pushing Maddison off the frame was too elite. Oh, yeah. If you haven't seen that, I tweeted it earlier. Havertz just shoving. Honestly, I love the fact that we are just a bit nasty now. Like, I love the fact that we are not the soft team that we used to be. We are. There's a bit of a nasty streak to some of the players. There's some shithousery, and generally speaking, we're not soft. So yesterday, for the second time this season, Gabriel won every single one of his ground duels, and Saliba won every single one of his aerial duels. That's happened twice this season, away at Anfield and away at Spurs. I absolutely love that. Who else thinks City has a harder remaining run-in than us? They do. I thought Maddison was awful. He's been hyped up, but besides the first 2 months, he's not been good. Yeah, well, I've seen quite a few Spurs fans that want him dropped now. I've seen quite a few Spurs fans that want him dropped. They want Kulusevski moved into the 10 and Maddison dropped. He's also, right, and look, I know I have a level of bias, because we all have a level of bias because he's a Spurs player. He's just really dislikable. I can't lie, I went outside for a smoke after Son scored the pen. The nerves of the Arsenal players are elite. I'd have crumbled. Yeah, I was like that on the watch-along. On the watch-along, I was struggling. Arteta is becoming Simeone 2.0 is lovely. But this is the thing, right? Obviously, we know in the vast majority of games, we're not particularly defensive. You know, we've scored more goals than any other team in the league. But Arteta's ability to now actually make adjustments for certain games, prioritizing the result more than the performance, is really, really good. It's really, really beneficial. Do you think Fulham could take points off City? Maybe. I mean, look, we'll look at the remaining fixtures, right? So obviously we have Bournemouth at home this weekend, United away, Everton at home. Bournemouth at home, by the way, this is the hardest game we have left. Bournemouth at home is the hardest game we have left. I promise you. Bournemouth have picked up more points than Spurs since the start of November. Since the start of November, Bournemouth are 5th in the league. They are genuinely in good form. Now, their away form isn't as good. And look, we'll do the preview for this later in the week. Their away form's not as good, right? They lost to Villa away. They lost to Luton away. Prior to that, I mean, they had a lovely run of home games. They won at Burnley away, drew at Newcastle away. But their away form's not great. But I honestly think that's a harder game than Man United. I really do think that is a harder game than Man United. In terms of Man City's games, realistically, like, Wolves at home, no problem for them. Wolves have got injuries. I don't see them dropping points there. Fulham away in a lunchtime kickoff. Crazier things have happened. You know, it's unlikely for sure, but crazier things have happened. Then Spurs away in the midweek. And really, that's the one where you go, look, at the end of the day, right, if Spurs still need Champions League, if Spurs can still get Champions League football at that point, it'll be a game. If Spurs can't get Champions League football by that point, which is very possible given Spurs' fixtures, you know, they're just not going to win it. You know, you look at Spurs' fixtures, right? They've got to go away to Chelsea, away to Anfield, home to Burnley before that game. If they drop 3 points within this run, I think that's curtains. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. But look, if Man City don't drop any points, you know, we did what we could. I think earlier in the season we cost ourselves. But the future is very, very bright. And look, if we end on 89 points, if we win our remaining 3 games, you know, it would mean that the final 18 games of the season, we'd won 16, drawn 1 and lost 1. That's unbelievable. And, you know, we'll look back to results fine. You know, really the 2 Fulham games and the West Ham game, they're the 2 killers. But, you know, we've improved. We've improved on last year. We've proven a lot of things. We've proven that we can actually go the distance in a run-in. I say we've proven it. We've still got to win 3 more games before we've proven that. But, you know, I think we've proven that we can go toe-to-toe with City in the games against them. We've not lost a single game against the Big Six this season, you know? So there's a lot of positives to take from the season, even if we don't end up winning the league. Look, the dream is that we do win the league and that Man City somehow drop points somewhere. But, I mean, yesterday, realistically, Man City should have dropped points. Realistically, Man City should have dropped points yesterday. Chris Wood could have had a hat-trick. Criminal. Absolutely criminal, the misses that he had yesterday. But it is what it is. You know, what can you do? They were rubbish from set pieces before, and they had 2 weeks to prepare against the best set piece team in the league, and they're still ass. By the way, right, and you're right, that performance, that first half performance from Tottenham was absolutely embarrassing. Imagine you have 15 days to prepare for the biggest game of your season, right? At home against your most bitter rivals, every incentive in the world in terms of you're in a race to get back into the Champions League and you've got the opportunity to stop your rivals winning the league, and you turn up and you're 3-0 down after 40 minutes. That is embarrassing. That is absolutely embarrassing. It really is. We should have beaten City. Maybe. Tell me how Chris Wood Tell me how Chris Wood has the highest conversion rate in the league but misses multiple sitters. Yeah, exactly. Would you rest Ødegaard against Bournemouth? He looked leggy against Tottenham. No, you don't rest anyone now. There's 3 games left. And we played them over 3 weeks. There is no one gets rested now. And also, I don't think Ødegaard looked leggy yesterday. I just think he was man-marked by Højbjerg for most of the game. But ultimately, right, and that was why Højbjerg started. Højbjerg started so that he could man-mark Ødegaard out of the game, and he did that to a large extent. But you sacrifice a midfielder by doing that. You know, so it was one of those. But no, I don't. I think you don't rest anyone. The only change I would say that you potentially make is maybe you bring Martinelli in for Trossard, maybe not, and maybe you bring in eventually. Maybe you bring in Jurgen Timber, but I don't think Timber's going to come in and start anyway. So, Rory, while I'm watching the stream, I'm making a pizza wrap. What a goal by me, and the pizza getting you Spurs. I don't quite understand. You're making a pizza. That's the main thing. You're making a pizza. I hope you enjoy the pizza. When will you be Arteta out? When will I be Arteta out? Not for a long time. Liverpool will not fall. I mean, you're pretending to be Arnie Slot on YouTube. So, you know, you probably got to question yourself and what you're doing on a Monday evening. But Maybe Adama Traore can do a madness against City again, but this time for Fulham. Maybe. I mean, Fulham kind of have the tools. Fulham kind of have the tools to beat City, or to at least cause City problems. Van de Ven's pace is frightening, by the way. The way he was blitzing past Martinelli was scary. He's a freak. Van de Ven is actually a freak. Like, fair play to him. He is unbelievably quick. Unbelievably quick. Iwobi masterclass. Yeah, we need Iwobi and Leno to do an absolute madness. An absolute madness. I think the lesson for Arsenal next season will be when we drop points in a game, we have to win the reverse game, as only Villa and Fulham are the only teams to take points from us in both games. I agree. Rory, your confidence makes me can't wait for May 12th. Speak soon. Are you a Man United fan? I'll tell you for free, we're spanking Man United at Old Trafford. I don't believe in jinxes. I don't believe in anything, and I've been saying it for weeks, and I will continue to say it. We could draw against Bournemouth, right? But we are absolutely spanking Man United at Old Trafford. They drew against Burnley at Old Trafford. They conceded twice against Sheffield United. We are whooping them. And if that's the final thing we do this season, if that's the final proper celebration we have this season, then so be it. But we are whooping them. Finally caught alive. Usually watch the VOD afterwards. I appreciate it. Look, that is a good call for me to appreciate everyone that's watching the VOD back. All of you that are watching right now, after I've finished, shout out to you. Hyper Protagonist, good to see you. Pray for me. I found out tomorrow if I got a ticket for the Bournemouth game. I am praying for you. I'm praying for you. I need to get my own ticket for a Bournemouth game, actually. I do need to sort my ticket for Bournemouth. Yeah, United were... Yeah, exactly. They were an inch away from losing to Coventry. You know? I got lucky to catch a live. Good to see you. Good to see you, Lewis. Anyway, I need to talk about Xavi Simons, right? So, if you're a long-time viewer... are you on Football Terrace today? No, not today, unfortunately. If you're a long-time viewer, you will know that last summer I was quite interested in Xavi Simons. It didn't happen. He went to PSG. He then went out on loan to Leipzig. So he's on loan at Leipzig this season. But according to Team Talk, Xavi Simons to Chelsea is possible as contact has been made, but they are not alone, with Arsenal also big fans. Simons is one of the big names to keep an eye on this summer. Now, I am a big fan. I think he's versatile. I think he's incredibly technical. And I think he would be a good player for us. Is it possible? Maybe. I also saw a report today that apparently he wants to go to Barca. But I don't know if Barca would be able to afford him or if they could pull that deal off. Have I got an Everton ticket yet? No, I need to get an Everton ticket as well, to be fair. So, look, is Xavi Simons possible? I don't know. But again, we'll have a look at how he's done this season. I just really like him. I really like him. Look at this. He can play all over the park. He can play off either wing. He can play as a 10. You know, he is a proper player. 21 years old. Look at this. It's just 7 goals and 11 assists in the Bundesliga this season. Playing from all different angles. Proper player. Proper player. Look at this. Look at this. You know I love my greenery. And this is green. This is green. Some of the things that stand out, generally speaking, his creativity, his assist making. Obviously, unbelievable dribbler of the ball. Wins a load of fouls. By the way, winning fouls in and around the edge of the box with the set pieces that we have. Very, very nice. Look, obviously, defensively, probably something he needs to work on if he was going to play wide for us. Possession one in the final third, right up there. Love that. Recoveries, right up there. Love that. Very good player. Very good player. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Look, he's 21 years old. Just turned 21 years old, so he's still incredibly young. We'll see what happens, but I would like him. I would like him. Whereabouts is the Gyökeres train for you at the moment? The Gyökeres train is, in fact, we'll bring it up. We'll bring it up. We'll bring up Victor. We'll do the weekly check-in. Oh, how's Viktor Gyökeres done this weekend? Oh, another 2 goals and a man of the match performance. Oh, dear. Sorry. What did Gyökeres do yesterday? Well, he came on at half-time. Sporting were 2-0 down with 3 minutes to go, so he scored twice in 2 minutes. Okay. Honestly. And that, by the way, that draw, like, pretty much guaranteed that Sporting win the league. They haven't won it yet. They've still got 3 games to go, but they're 3 games to go, 5 points clear. Unbelievable. So, yeah. The Gyökeres train is still at full steam. He's not a starter. No, he is a starter. To be honest, I don't actually know why he didn't start yesterday. He is normally a starter. But look. He started 29 games this season out of 31. Yesterday was the first time he made a substitute appearance. I don't know if he's like got a knock or if he was ill. In Liga NOS this season, 26 goals and 10 assists in 29 starts. Sorry. Unbelievable. Yeah. I still want him. He is number 1. It's a shame we seem more likely not to sign Gyökeres, even though he's now on 55 GA for the season. Yeah, it is. But look, Havertz is going from strength to strength. Even yesterday, the goal that he took that didn't count, the offside goal, even that, like, Havertz is actually more clinical than he gets credit for. If you actually look at the way he's been scoring goals, he scores with like 50. It's something ridiculous. It's like he scores 50% of the chances he gets or something. From what I was looking at the other day. Would you take Rashford? No, not for me. So Man United came out today and said that Rashford could be available, but they'd need to get a massive bid for him, basically. For me, it's not worth putting a massive bid on Marcus Rashford. No, thank you. I know some people look at it and go, the player is there and he just needs Arteta to save him. No manager can save everyone, right? And if you get into this mentality of trying to save everyone, sometimes it's going to backfire. And I just don't think Marcus Rashford is the guy. I just don't think he's the guy. Most disappointing player this season? In total or for Arsenal? Let me know, in total or for Arsenal. It's the wages too for Rashford. He's on 350k a week, and I doubt he would take a pay cut. Yeah, exactly. If he goes, Oslo Gunnar is right, I think. If he goes, I think he goes to PSG. But we'll see. Most disappointing player for Arsenal this season? Probably Gabriel Jesus. I think it's more injury related than anything else, but probably Gabriel Jesus. Maybe Zinchenko. One of those two, I'd say. The fact that already the project kind of feels like it's beyond those two now is a bit disappointing. It's the reality, but it's a shame. It's a shame because I think, they came in last season and the fan base immediately kind of took to them and loved them. And they did genuinely take us up a gear, but we've gone on to another gear since then. And I look at it, unless he's playing on the wing, Gabriel Jesus, even Gabriel Jesus at his best for Arsenal doesn't get into the team ahead of Kai Havertz right now in terms of what Kai Havertz offers. So, it is a shame, but what can you do? But yeah, I was going to speak about Timber. So Timber played 70 minutes yesterday. If you've not seen it, actually, Arsenal uploaded like a little highlight compilation on Twitter of Timber's game. Looked good, looked solid. Obviously, he's playing against under 21s, so it's difficult to know for sure. But yeah, he looked good. Wait, there's 2 of me? What do you mean there's 2 of you? I don't know what you mean by there's two of you. Don't think Postecoglou is great, but feel like he would have the integrity to go for it against City, whatever the situation, even if it means we win the league. Yeah, well, bear in mind, right? So this is what people keep saying. Like, people keep saying, oh, Spurs are going to deliberately let Man City win. If Spurs still have the opportunity to get into the Champions League, the players and the manager are not going to fuck it off just so that Arsenal don't win the league. That's just not going to happen. So you've got this situation where we desperately need them to still be in the race for top four, because a lot of their players have probably got things in their contracts which mean they get paid more for which means they get paid more if they're in the Champions League. So the players are going to be fighting for it for their own sakes. And also, imagine you had just joined Tottenham, right? Imagine you're Mickey van der Ven and you join this project, and the project was, we're going to get back into the Champions League, and you sign up to that project. You're invested in that project. And what? You get to 2 games out from the end of the season and they go, yeah, by the way, lads, we're going to deliberately lose this game. It will mean we're in the Europa League next season, but it will mean Arsenal don't win the league. Well, Mickey van der Ven couldn't give a fuck if Arsenal win the league. It makes no difference to him. He's not a Spurs fan. He's a Spurs player, but, you know, someone might be pretending to be Ultra Pro Gamer. How do I know who the real one is so that I can block the other one? This is like one of those games. Because you said you didn't say the Rashford thing, but what if you did? What if you did say the Rashford thing and not the other thing? How am I meant to know who's the real one? It's a different person. I can block and report them. I thought one of you was a member, to be honest. I thought you were a member, but maybe not. If Spurs intentionally down tools, that could be like Conte fixing ban in Serie A. Doesn't reflect well on the club. Yeah, it won't happen. It won't happen. Just clocked Timber faced Pool in PL2. Did you watch it? No. So I watched the highlights of Timber. So Arsenal uploaded a. No, I'm not going to block both of them because the real ones are OG. Yeah, you can block and report them, Ultra Pro Gamer, but I can't block them. It wouldn't surprise me if it's this guy, to be honest. It wouldn't surprise me if it's this guy. Do you think Amari Hutchinson has a chance of being in the Chelsea squad next season? Maybe. He's on fire for Ipswich, to be fair. Who's the 8 and left back / centre back you want to sign the most in the summer? I'm actually still not sure. I'm genuinely still not sure on this. I still really want Douglas Luiz. I would take Joshua Kimmich or Frankie de Jong. Zubamendi, I'm not a massive fan of, but it's like Zubamendi sounds like one that we really could get. Really, the issue is I don't know who we replace Thomas Partey with. Because if you're looking specifically at what Thomas Partey offers to the team, his passing ability, I'm not sure his ability to take the ball, receive the ball, and distribute it. There aren't many players in the world that can do it to the level that Thomas Partey does it at. Genuinely. So I don't know who you go and replace him with. I think that's going to be the big thing that we have to do this summer, because it's to be honest, it's noticeable when he plays that's something that Declan Rice absolutely doesn't do to the same level. Declan Rice is incredible, but he doesn't offer that to the level that Thomas Partey does. And if you're talking about the kind of complementary pairing in that midfield, I think we need someone that does do that. Amadou Onana. See, Amadou Onana doesn't do that. Not to that level. Douglas Luiz. Yeah, Douglas Luiz, I think, is up there. Kimmich is up there. Ornstein has said that he expects only one of Jorginho and Partey to stay. I think we'll get a 6, someone like Zubamendi, although personally I'd love a ball carrying progressive 8. Yeah, but so I think that makes sense, but I think Jorginho's staying for another year. I think Partey's going and Jorginho's staying for another year. United at Old Trafford is always hard for us, so we have to be calm. I'm calm. I'm more than calm about United at Old Trafford. We're going to absolutely smack them. I really do think Partey stays. The thing is, if Partey stays and gets another injury, we're just like, why have we done this again? I guarantee you, right? If Partey stays and within the first half of the season he gets any sort of significant injury, we all turn around and go, what have we done? We've made the same mistake again. When he's fit, he's brilliant, but it's just a big risk. It's a big risk. If we really are in for Xavi Simons, he could play as the attacking 8. He's played as a midfielder in his youth. Yeah, he can. He can play as an attacking 8. He can play off the left, off the right. Super versatile, which is why I think we'll be in for him. If he's available, I think we'll be in for him because Arteta loves a versatile player. I feel like Arteta's going to keep him. Look, maybe. But in that case, that would mean we're getting rid of Jorginho. And that would be... Because one thing Jorginho has offered is consistency of availability. If you get rid of Jorginho and then you're relying on Thomas Partey and then he gets injured, then you're in a tight spot. We need to use him only at the end of the season. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this fake thing, but we're going to have to try and sort that out at some point. I want Simons, but not priority. Yeah, he's not a priority. No, Partey wouldn't go for free. Partey wouldn't go for free. He wouldn't go for a lot, though. It'd be like 20 million. It'd be about 20 million. I don't hate you. I don't hate you. I appreciate you. I just had a feeling that you were being a troll. Look, the issue you've got is that you've become the boy that cried wolf because you've been a bit of a troll. So when someone starts trolling in the chat, my instinct is that it might be you. Availability is the best ability. Reece James is another one like Partey. On his day, world class, but he's too injury prone. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Their profile pictures aren't the exact same, but I don't know how you could figure it out. Maybe go through old VODs. Yeah, I could do that. I'll figure it out. If we win the league, Kivior would be the only Polish player to ever win the league. There you go. Not bad. Anyway, it is time for Guess the Gooner, the game where I give you 5 clues about an ex or current Arsenal player, and you have to guess who that player is. First person to get it right wins the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community. No, not even minus. You do just get the immense pride and respect. So get your fingers on your keyboards. We are starting now. But before I get into that, €2 from Tom. He says, real shame Partey can't stay fit. Kimmich, though. Tom, thank you very, very much for the super chat. And yeah, Joshua Kimmich, I would definitely take. Rory hates Spurs players. Rory hates Spurs players. He ignores our chats once we say we are Spurs fans. Thank God he doesn't know my Instagram or he would stop liking my comments. Cedar Tree, I don't even think I knew you were a Spurs fan. I appreciate it. Anyway, clue number 1. They played for both Arsenal and Aston Villa. Clue number 1, they played for both Arsenal and Aston Villa. Clue number 2, they joined Arsenal from Marseille for £8 million. They joined Arsenal from Marseille for £8 million. Clue number 3, they scored 85 goals in 284 appearances for Arsenal. They scored 85 goals in 284 appearances for Arsenal. Clue number 4, they won both the World Cup and the Euros. They won both the World Cup and the Euros. And clue number 5, they are an Arsenal invincible. Clue number 5, they are an Arsenal invincible. Right. We're checking who got it first. Hopefully we won't need a VAR. Oh, boy. Hopefully we won't need a VAR. In fact, I think someone got it pretty early on, actually. I think someone got it really early on. They did. They did. And the winner is Samuel Willem. Samuel Willem. It was Robert Perez. Samuel Willem was first. Ethan Udall was second. Young Tar was third. Ross Lawman was fifth. And then it was ages until someone else answered. It was ages. That was weird. And then it was Alex Sutar in fifth. So congratulations to Samuel Willem. The first 4 got it really early. And then there was a delay. But there you go. I don't think there's a VAR check. I'm pretty sure. You had a massive delay because of the super chat. Yeah, I did. I was second on mine. There is a VAR. How was there a VAR? Who am I looking out for? Okay, Jakub said, did you say it before that? You said Per Mertesacker. Oh my God. Okay, hear me out on this one though. He said that before I'd even read out a clue. It's because I put starting now and then read out the super chat. But Jakub got it. Jakub got it without any clues. So, congratulations to Jakub, who got it with 0 clues. Fair play. Saniel, I'm sorry. I am sorry. The rest of the order was fine. But goal to Jakub. It's a guess. It doesn't count. You tarnish your own rule. I know. Oh, God. I've implemented my own rule and then I ruined it because there was a super chat. But also, what's the chances that he guessed it without a clue? I'm going to have to wheel out Dermot again. I mean, it is called Guess the Gooner, I suppose. It was a good guess. Nah, Jakub did cook. It's fair. I've awarded it. I can only apologize. It's actually unbelievable how bad I am at this. It is genuinely. And I had such confidence that time. I had such confidence that I had made the right decision then. The jury have ruled. He cooked. He did. I'll gladly share first place with Saniel. There you go. Look at that. Respect. Top 10 respect moments in football history. Jakub and Saniel are sharing first place. Oh, there you go. It was Tom's dad. Tom's dad put the super chat in. So, oh no, it wasn't his dad. It was his bad. I was going to say, I don't know why your dad's super chatting, but it was his bad. Sharing a title means half the respect of the community. Maybe. Anyway, it's time for Guess the Non-Gooner. I'm going to give you the entire career path of a player who does not and has not played for Arsenal. And you have to guess who that player is in the chat. First person to get it right wins the immense pride and respect of the RoryTalksFootball community, but not as much respect as Jakub and Saniel currently have. This player started their career at the Chelsea Academy. They went on loan to Vitesse. They moved to Liverpool on a free transfer. And then they moved to Bournemouth. So Chelsea Academy, Vitesse on loan, Liverpool, Bournemouth. Right. Let's see if I can do this without making an absolute hash brown of it. Okay. I've got it. The winner is Sam Shapiro. It was Dominic Solanke. Sam Shapiro was first. Vic Williams was second. Harry was third. Loads of people put Mason Mount. James Bidder was fourth. And Yomi was fifth. So there you go. Congratulations. Congratulations. It takes a solid 2 seconds per letter I write. Internet is a complete shambles. Magnus is struggling. Salah, KDB, all academy graduates of Chelsea. There's a lot of academy graduates of Chelsea. James Bidder is calling a robbery. James Bidder's calling a robbery. Listen, James. No. James, you were down here. Unless you said it before that. No, James, I don't know what you're looking at. You said Matty Cash. And then ages and ages later, after people had already said Solanke, you said Solanke. So unfortunately, James, you are... No VAR needed. No VAR needed. On-field decision was correct. We've got the backing. We've got the backing. Yeah, it could be your Wi-Fi. It could be your Wi-Fi. Decision correct. Decision correct. Thoughts on the Anthony Taylor mess in the pool game? So it kind of reminded me of the Bayern Munich mistake, right? In the fact that he gets it wrong. He doesn't blow the whistle. Like the number one rule of football: play to the whistle. He doesn't blow the whistle. Liverpool should be allowed to score, but I think he looks at it and goes, "Oh God, clearly the goalkeeper thinks it's a free kick. I can't let this go in." But yeah, I mean, it's harsh on Liverpool in my opinion. He bottled it, and then he made it, and then he tried to get flipping. He tried to get Areola to pretend he was injured so that it looked like less of an howler. What source is the Xavi Simons interest? It's coming from Team Talk. It's not an amazing source, but it's like average. It's an average source. Do you think the Doku McAllister pen shout was a pen? We would have been top. I do, yeah. I do. I can't tell you how good Simons would be. We need a right wing backup, but we've also struggled to fill Martinelli's poor form. And we also need someone to give us the option of playing an 8. Yeah, I agree. His versatility would be huge for us. It reminds me of the Nani goal against Spurs. Yeah. Yeah. Gakpo should definitely just put it in the net and hope for the best. Yeah, he should have put it in the net, yeah. He should have just put it in the net. Spurs to batter Chelsea. I think Chelsea will win. I think Chelsea are going to beat Spurs. And that's the problem. I think Chelsea will beat Spurs, and I've got a bad feeling by the time Spurs play Man City, they won't even be able to get top 4. And that'll be a problem. Just seen someone at the train station wearing a Spurs shirt. Proudly, he's brave. Fair play. Fair play. Look, anyway, that is going to be the end of the stream. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. As always, I hope you have a fantastic evening. We've got Champions League football back this week, which is exciting, but also, sad because we're not in it. But look, if you could like the stream before you jump off, if you could subscribe tomorrow night. Until then, have a fantastic evening and goodbye.